Hey everyone, so I saw this video here on YouTube by a guy named Byron Bernstein where he visually shows us what $1 billion looks like. And I just wanted to do the same thing for government spending. According to the latest government statistics, the average American household earns $44,000 per year. Now this is an ugly figure to work with, so I'm going to round it up to $50,000. Plus I want to be nice and give you guys an extra $6,000. Now, this seems like a lot of money, but this is what our government spends every half second. So let's go ahead and multiply this by 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here visualized on the screen is $500,000. But you know what? This is what our government spends every 5 seconds. So essentially what you see in front of you is $500,000 that our government pisses away in less time than it takes to flush the toilet. But of course, 5 seconds isn't much in the grand scheme of things, so let's turn this into a minute. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And here you have $6 million. But according to the stats, our government spends $7 million every minute, so let's add an additional 2 lines. So visualized in front of you is what our government spends every minute, $7 million. That's more money than most Americans will ever see in their lifetime. So let's actually multiply this by 60 so that we have an hour. That's 1 minute, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's go ahead and copy and paste this whole thing an additional 5 times. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40, 50, and 1 hour of ridiculous government spending. If you look at the bottom of my Microsoft Word page, you'll see that's 18 pages worth of U.S. household incomes to fund 1 hour of government operations, growth, spending, waste, whatever you want to call it. But this right here, visualized in front of you, is $420 million. That's what our government spends. You could take $1 from this jackpot and give it to each person in America, and you would actually run out of people to give money to. That's how much money this is. But of course, there are 24 hours per day, so let's copy and paste this whole thing an additional 24 times. That's 1 hour government spending, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm actually going so fast that my computer can't keep up with all this data that I'm trying to put into this document. That's how much spending this is. So here's 12 hours. Let's copy and paste this whole thing one more time. And here we have visualized in front of us, once this loads, is 24 hours worth of government spending. Look, it's 427 pages worth of data. Government spending, U.S. household incomes. But this is just one day. And in a single day, our government wastes approximately $10.4 billion. That's more people than that live on this earth. But I actually have this other document prepared. This is what our government spends in a week. Not a month, not a year, but a week. And as you can see down here, the document is 2,968 pages long. That's just ridiculous. It's actually 180 times longer than the U.S. Constitution, and this is just a week worth of spending. $72.8 billion just absolutely blows your mind. And I don't care who the politician is, but they all come into office bragging about how they're going to reduce the deficit. They'll brag about how they saved $7 million here, and they saved an additional $14 million here, and they cut all these government waste programs, and they just eliminated, an additional $48 million, and they're bragging about how much money they're spending, but oh my goodness, we still have 2,966 pages. They just reduced two pages out of that whole thing. Like, seriously? They're bragging about that? This just shows you how wasteful our government is, how inefficient it is, and you know who funds it? You know who funds it? You do. You do, right here. This is you. We're the ones funding this for the rest of our lives, our children, our children's children. And until we vote people who have common sense in office, it's only going to get worse. But those are just my thoughts, and if you'd love to hear more from me, please subscribe. My name is Daniel, and you can visit me on facebook.com/stateofdaniel. I'd love to see you there, and I post videos on here every week. I hope to see you soon.